Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be over here chit-chatting with you live on YouTube. I don't actually do lives that often on YouTube. I need to start doing them more, wouldn't you agree? So if you are catching the replay, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're joining us live, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to share with you, answer some questions you have about QuickBooks specifically. We'll do some Q&A on that. And I want to share with you more about Comms QuickBooks since we are closing enrollment tonight to our program. So I often get asked, this is like one of the number one questions, like, I'm busy right now. Can I do it later? We open enrollment publicly 3 times a year. So typically the first quarter and then at the end of the year, right now. So if you have questions, let me know about Comms QuickBooks specifically, and let's dive in to some information about the program, and then I'll answer your questions as well as we go along. All right, sound good? I will be checking in with you. So first things first, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for allowing me to inspire you and help you along your QuickBooks journey. If you're wondering, like, is this for somebody new? Is this for, like, I'm brand new, or I've been using QuickBooks for years? Doesn't matter where you're at in your QuickBooks journey. I am excited to help you. So as you're coming in, say hi. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you wonder, like, why does this lady teach QuickBooks? I actually get asked that all the time, especially when I go to live events. They're like, you seem very, like, you teach QuickBooks? Why is that? Hi, Kenneth. And it's because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's impacted my business directly. And so I know what it does for others. And that inspired me, and I have accounting background, into teaching QuickBooks and helping businesses and tax professionals, bookkeepers, just like you, take the stress and overwhelm out of QuickBooks, which is why you probably watch my YouTube videos, right? So I want you to take a moment to imagine opening up your QuickBooks and knowing exactly how to use it. And I want to focus, I'm going to share with you more about QuickBooks and we'll answer some questions, but I want you to know this. Understanding your financial dashboard is the fastest and most effective way to understanding what's happening in your business, right? So knowing your numbers is what's going to make the difference. How many of you, let me know in the chat, are looking at your reports on a regular basis? Where's your business at? Do you know? You can be honest. So this is where Commons QuickBooks comes into place, and where a lot of you are like, okay, just tell me what's included. I've been on the chat today at commonsquickbooks.com. We have a chat, and so I've been chatting with a lot of our community, and it's like, this is what kind of business I'm in. Would it fit for me? So I want to do this and then answer any questions that you have specifically. So Confidence of QuickBooks is a program that I designed with you in mind. It's going to walk you through how to use QuickBooks, okay? It is based on 5 main key pillars. 1, starting with the end in mind, which is going to be focused on how do you set your QuickBooks up right to begin with. So you'll know when you go in and you start looking at your QuickBooks and you go here to like reports and you come in here and you look at like your company financials. A lot of times what I notice most QuickBooks users doing, whether you're desktop or online, is you saw when you open up the software, you're like, enter bills, that's where I need to go. Create invoices, that's where I need to go. And that's not actually true. Not all users need to be using all areas of QuickBooks. You can actually pick the area of QuickBooks you want to be using specific for your business. Did you know that? Let me know in the chat. Did you know that? They don't need to be using all areas. This is something most people don't realize, okay? So we start with the foundation. We make sure that you know what areas to be using. And then we are going to talk about your expenses. Do you know there is 2, almost 3 main ways to track your expenses in QuickBooks? 1 is enter bills, pay bills. This is a 2-step process. The other is to come down here to the banking center. So I remember we had a lady inside Comms QuickBooks, and she's helping her husband with his bookkeeping, which happens often. And she had always just entered bills whenever she went to like Home Depot or Lowe's, and then she had went over and paid bills. And this is 2 steps. And I said, do you know that if you go and you just use whether you're a desktop or online user, if you're doing that, you could just go literally right here to, I clicked the wrong button. It's all right. You can literally, hi Sheila, click on the write check, so check register, and enter your expenses directly here and still do job costing. And she was like, are you serious? I've been wasting all this time. I'm like, well, it's okay. You just didn't know any different, right? So when you're inside, one of the things I'll teach you is what is the best way to track your income and expenses for your business, but also how to your independent contractors, you're giving them the 1099s. Do you know that if you're paying with merchants or credit cards, you don't actually need to necessarily provide a 1099 NEC if it's an independent contractor? There's two 1099s now. We teach that. You don't necessarily need to be giving them one. So one of the keys to learning is like, if you pay with a credit card, it's going through a merchant, right? If you're paying with a debit card, it's going through a merchant. They get a 1099 from them directly. So how do you know if you need to give it to them? And if you do, how do you do it properly? Okay, so we are going to make sure you have all of that covered. And then we're going to be focusing on income. What's the best way to track income? Do you know there are how many ways to track income in QuickBooks? If you've heard me talk about this before, let me know. There are 3. You can create invoices, you can use sales receipts, or you can go straight to the banking center and enter it directly to your income. Each of these has pros and each of these has cons, and you can use them at different times. You can use a combination. So it's not like I only am going to use this or I'm only going to use sales receipts. You can use any of these. And even if you're an online user, you can do those as well. So when you're inside, one of the things I'll teach you is what is the best way to track your income. Hold on. And I clicked my YouTube video. I'm like, what's going on all of a sudden? Let me close that actually to make sure I don't do that again. I had my QuickBooks open and I wanted to make sure I did it. You're like, where did she go? I'm still here. I just clicked the wrong button. So often as QuickBooks users, that's what you're afraid you're going to do. You're going to click a button and it's going to break. It's not going to break. And you can fix it. So let me know, like, is that one of your fears, is that you're going to break your QuickBooks? Because you're not going to break it. I wanted to make sure I had logged in, I thought, to my online, but I didn't see it. So I wanted to get back in here and do it. I look at my profit and loss reports at least, I think that means at least. It says less than one. Oh, profit or loss less than once a month. Okay, that's okay. But if you're looking at least monthly, you know what's going on, right? So I wanted to show you for the online users, when you're in here and you're doing your QuickBooks, whether you are doing for online users, when you're in here and you're clicking the little plus and you're entering in your expenses, you also, or income, you also have the same choices as desktop users. A lot of times people think it's different. The way you get there is different. The concepts are similar. So when you're in here and you're under like the customers, right? You have invoices, you have sales receipts, and you also can go straight to the banking center, or you can use bank feeds. But you just need to know like at what time is the right one for you. Do you know which way to track your income for your business? Let me know that in the chat. Candace says, I'm a desktop user. Perfect. I teach both desktop and online. There are 2 different areas of the program, so you pick the one that's right for you. I also teach you when you're tracking your income, how do you apply your payments, NSFs, sales tax. Sales tax is a common problem where you maybe have been paying it wrong. Did you know that when you're in QuickBooks, there's a specific way to pay it? So when you come over here, you need to make sure you're using manage sales tax, not write a check, not use the bank feed to pay your sales tax, especially for desktop users, okay? So we cover all that. Then we've built our foundation, pillar 1. We've entered all our expenses. We've entered in our income. You've learned how to do that properly. Now we're going to put a check and balance in place in system in place. So do you know what is a check and balance system in QuickBooks? Let me know in the chat. If I'm a QuickBooks user, will the training only be for QuickBooks Online instead of going back and forth? Yes, so we have the desktop version or the online. That way it's 100% focused on whatever you want to learn. If you want to learn both, you can do a bundle, but they're 2 technically different programs and you pick the one that's right for you, okay? So what is the check and balance system? Do you know? In QuickBooks, it's reconciling. And the reason it's so important, whether online or desktop, it's the only way to know that you've entered in your transactions accurately. It's where you take a bank statement that the bank mails you, or a credit card, or you print because they email it to you now, and you compare it to QuickBooks. Because otherwise you could have mistakes and errors in old transactions that have never been cleaned up. And that's one of the things I'm also going to teach you how to fix, as well as how to clean up your old mistakes. So you're going to learn how to do your reconciliations on both your bank accounts and your credit cards, how to use your bank feeds. I only recommend using bank feeds after you have the knowledge behind the scenes of exactly what it can do for your business. Because if you use bank feeds before you understand what's happening, you're likely to have errors or accidentally have duplicates, which you'll find when you reconcile. You're also going to learn how to do your credit card rewards, your petty cash. And if you have undeposited funds, this is a common thing that I get asked about. How are you going? You're going to learn how to fix them. So most of you go, I hate undeposited funds, and it's only because somebody hasn't taught you. You may have heard me say this before, but undeposited funds is like a bank bag. It's your deposit slip with your payments, your checks, everything included inside. You compare it. Actually, have a little credit card statement here. You take, when you go to the bank, you compare that to your bank statement. It's only one deposit in QuickBooks now, so that it makes it easy to match to your reconciliation. All of these work together. That's why I teach it the way I do. So you're going to get it covered inside the fourth pillar. Then the fifth one, which is what most of you are excited about, it's about growing and taking your business to the next level. Hi, Irene. Welcome, welcome. And this is going to be about generating your profit and loss so you can actually read it, going back and saying, okay, now that I've been entering, I need to make some changes. And you're going to learn how to actually get ready for your year end. What is the process? What does your tax professional need from you? And what do you need to get ready? As well as equity, money in, money out. So depending on your entity structure, you may need members, you may need owner, and you might need shareholder. I teach you how to understand equity better, how to understand retained earnings. And then if you need to do closing entries, you can also do those as well. That's all covered. You're also going to get included, if you have rental properties, you're going to use class tracking, how to do that. And if you have property management, you do property management for someone, I'm going to teach you, QuickBooks isn't designed for that, but how to enter in income and expenses. There's two strategies. You're going to pick the one that's best for you. If you're wanting to track like purchases that you buy, whether that's properties, whether it's equipment, I'm going to teach you how to handle that. When you sell it, how do you handle that? And if you have loans, how to apply both the principal and interest accurately. Okay. You're also going to learn how to edit and void mistakes and how to close the year end. So you get all 5 pillars included. You need all of these. So if you're like, I think my foundation's good, I know how to enter in my income or expenses, let me ask you this question. Honestly, are you confident in knowing why you're using what you're using and that you set it up properly, or whoever did it before you set it up properly? The reason I teach you it this way in a specific order is because we build upon it, right? That way, when you get to the end, you actually have a report you can read. Your reports are your dashboard. It's how you know you did everything accurately. So this is a question I've been getting asked quite a bit, which is, can I go at my own pace? Yes. If you have family vacation over the next couple weeks, it doesn't matter. If life's busy right now, but you want to learn before next year, this is the time. So you can go at your own pace. You get to log into the members area. I can show you that in a little bit. And you get lifetime access. So you can go back through the training as many times as you want. Okay, you're purchasing it, you're going to have it, you access it through the members area. So one of the bonuses, bonuses that you get, you got to add a little fun to accounting, is being more confident when you show up to your tax appointment through this workshop. This is a training you can go through right now. You get access immediately when you join. It's going to tell you how to go in and check what you've been doing to make sure you don't have mistakes. You do get a checklist and an actual training that I walked you through. You also, this is another question I've been getting asked, does it include payroll? Yes, I'm giving it to you as a bonus, how to process payroll and pay your quarterly, monthly installments, typically depending on your business, and then how e-pay it is the best way to do it now. And then how to also process your forms at the end of the year. I do not teach traditional taxes, but I teach how to do payroll taxes, okay? You're also gonna learn how to do cheat sheets. Or you're also gonna get the cheat sheets, You're gonna get how to do shortcut keys if you're a keyboard person, and if you're gonna do debits and credits. So this is something somebody asked me recently. Candace, will you teach me how to do journal entries? I do have a bonus training. But if you're gonna do QuickBooks right, you rarely need journal entries. There's only a few times you'll be using them, okay? So, but if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna give you resources to do it right, okay? So that's included. And if some of you are like, but I wanna know, how do I apply this to my business? I've taken other classes before, I need to figure this out. You are gonna get 2 implementation calls, one to help you fast track your success with the program and get you on the right foot, and then also group coaching, laser coaching. I do these over Zoom. They're typically done in the morning. If we have a lot of people who need it at different time, we'll do our best to accommodate you. But this is going to be where you can go, okay, I went through the program, but how do I apply it to this? How do I do it to that? It's where you get to ask me questions. I'm a verbal communicator. I dislike typing, honestly. If you ever read my stuff and you see typos, it's because I just don't like typing. It's not my strength. Communicating, hearing you. What I notice is a lot of times the questions that you ask, it's what you think is the question. And then I'll say to you, okay, but what do you actually want to accomplish in your QuickBooks? And you'll tell me, and I'm like, oh, you're just going to do it this way. And you're like, oh, I wasted so much time trying to figure it out on my own. So going through the program gives you the how-tos. The bonus calls are going to give, you can let me know if you have any questions on this as we go through. How important is it to close out the year? We can talk about that, Irene. I'll come back to that. So you not only get the program, you get all of the bonuses that I shared with you. And if you're thinking like, oh, I don't know, I'm a little nervous, Lori shared that going through the program, it's very step by step. Sometimes I get asked like, what's the difference between your YouTube channel? I've learned a lot through that versus the program. So my YouTube channel is very like tips. Go through it and you're going to learn the best way of doing it. So just like on YouTube where you can watch a video, the program's the same way. It's pre-created for you, has arrows pointing to certain places, all of that, PDFs included, and you're going to watch it, implement, watch it, implement. Now, Erin shared that she had originally set her husband up to do his own bookkeeping, and then she took it on, and she thought, oh, it's not going to be that hard. She made tons of mistakes. And one of the things she learned by going through the program is how to fix the mistakes. Because do you know why you get mistakes in QuickBooks? Because you haven't learned how to enter it in properly. So the gap between mistakes and fixing them is learning why they happened. And then by knowing what happened, what was done incorrectly, you can go in and fix it to do it correctly. That's what you'll learn inside the cleanup. But there are some things to know. Like, have you already filed your taxes? Is that going to impact your profit and loss? What's that going to look like? And you're going to learn all of that inside the workshop. So she shared that one of the things she also loves is that we do our best to support you. You also get access to a community Facebook group. So let me click on my Chrome real quick. Share that. So when you're in here and you're using your bank feeds, one of the keys that I would teach you is that you can't just like guess that this information is correct. When you click on all of the details in this area right here. So on loans, you can split it. So you would need to go in and do splits. Okay. So right here, you'll notice, I actually don't know if you're, I think you said online. Are you online user or desktop? But you would do splits either way for your QuickBooks specifically. And that's something I teach you inside the program. I can actually show you while I'm right here what confidence with QuickBooks looks like inside and walk you through it a little bit. So this is a behind the scenes, get to see what it actually, navigation, PDF, an outline of the program. Then you're gonna come in here and you're gonna get started watching the tutorial. So whether you click on module 1, module 2, I'll show you what it looks like. It's broke down individually depending on what you're looking for. Are you looking to set up a bank account? Are you looking for this? Let's say you want to know about general preferences and how to customize your preferences. I'm going to mute this so I don't have to listen to myself. But you'll notice I go in and I start walking you through step by step, just like my YouTube channel. It's very, very similar. specifically to loans, you're going to learn how to do those. I think we put it here. We just rearranged it. Bank feeds, tips, to training down here. And so here's like your assets and loans, how to purchase, how to split loans versus interest. And you'll notice over here we have both a printer-friendly version and a colored version of our PDFs, as well as we do timestamps and a transcript. So if you're looking at like loans, videos, finance charge, you can go through at a minute marker and it will move you to where you need to be, which is pretty cool. So yes, that's all in there. You'll get access to that. There's a lot more bonuses that I didn't even tell you about that are little surprises along the way. Okay, so let me go back over to my QuickBooks, my desktop version as well. How important is it to close at the end of the year? So do you know, I think I have a video on my YouTube channel. I know I have it inside the program that tells you why you want to close your books at the end of the year. It's because when you close your books, it keeps others from entering back. So QuickBooks will do a natural closing entry. I teach you that when you get to the 5th pillar, which is all about like year end. Looking at say like your balance sheet. And if you change this to, let's do December 31st of 20, this is my training file. And you come down here, you'll see you have like retained earnings. The moment, and you have net income. The moment you go to the next day of the beginning of the year, QuickBooks will close out and adjust your retained earnings and adjust your income, closes it for you. So if you come in here, you may not see any transactions, but if you, oops, click the wrong button. If you, sorry, hold on, look at all these little screens. If you click this and you scroll up and click all, you're going to see all your closing entries. That's often a question I get asked as well. I teach you that inside Module 5. How do you check your closing entries? You don't do these. QuickBooks does them for you. There are a few times with like your equity accounts that you do need to do a closing entry, and I walk you through how to do that as well. Why are closing entries important? QuickBooks does most of them. It's not about the closing entries that's as important as it is that you set a closing date. Set a closing date, online or desktop. I walk you through it either one. I'm having trouble saving the program to my computer. I have to use a memory stick. So I'm not sure what that means, but you must be a desktop user. So as far as backing up, I recommend, I'll go bigger so you can see it, an external drive. I walk you through how to do that too. How do you back up to an external drive? The reason is because in case your computer breaks. Okay, so you might want to check into that. Hopefully it's coming through clearly. Oh, it was like goofing up. Well, hopefully the replay will come through for you. You guys can try to refresh your screen. All right, corporate taxes. Okay, you guys are just chatting amongst yourselves. Do you? Not that advanced. I don't even do my own tax. I teach QuickBooks. I will tell you that's actually one of the things I teach is that it's not important, or not important isn't the right word. I don't recommend doing your own taxes when you're a business, because also being a specialist in taxes is a whole nother level. So make sure if you are going to be doing your closing that you do it in here. Set your closing date. Okay. Any other questions about Canvas QuickBooks specifically? I know that I got a couple questions about like what happens after the 5 weeks, so to speak. There isn't really 5 weeks. There's 5 modules to the program, but you get lifetime access and you can go back through it as many times as you want. The key and the question to ask yourself is, when you open your QuickBooks, do you feel confident? When you pull your reports, are you able to make decisions based off what they say, right? So that's what I want you to be checking. Like, does this make sense? Is it customized to you? So one of the analogies that I use is that when you set up your QuickBooks, you get what's called a canned chart of accounts. And that's like going and just getting a dress or a suit off the rack and you put it on, you're like, yeah, it's all right. A tailor-made chart of accounts, one that's designed just for you, is like putting on your favorite color, getting one that's tailored, and you're like, oh, I feel so good in this. This is my favorite dress to wear or favorite suit under new 12-pay option. So you can totally check that out as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my community. I love getting to support you in your QuickBooks journey. Let us know if you have any other questions. Head over, you'll notice there's like a little chat down here, so you head over and you can chat with us. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to supporting you inside Comms QuickBooks, and I will talk to you soon. If not, I'll see you in my next tip and trick. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. Bye.